Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jade from Calgary, Alberta. I am a small business strategist, influencer, and brand builder. My passion is helping small businesses grow and succeed. Sharing knowledge and stories is why I started the Telling It Like It Is Facebook live show. It is a live show, so if you do have any questions, please put them in the comments and we will answer them. I'd like to thank Healthy Heart Sleep Company, Calgary's premier sleep apnea CPAP company, for sponsoring this show. They are locally owned and have 2 locations. Today's Telling It Like It Is guest is Dwayne Hnatiw of Crystal Clear Windows. Dwayne, thank you for joining me. And how are you today?
Thank you, Jade. Yeah, I'm good. Good. Just been a great day so far.
Oh, it's always a great day. I love my Wednesdays. I love my Telling It Like It Is. I'm always learning something new here every day, and I'm excited to get into it. So we were talking a little bit before, and it's warmer in Calgary and it's warmer in Regina, so that's great.
That's great. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah, sorry, I missed that. I just got a call. What was that?
I just said Calgary. Oh yeah, I just said it's nice to have the weather starting to turn around here. So it's the spring has sprung. Let's hope, and we'll move forward from there.
Hopefully.
I'll give a little introduction to Dwayne here, and then we will jump right into it. So Dwayne is a seasoned, pragmatic business professional with a track record of success and experience in several industries during his 25-year career. He was an entrepreneur before. He was a successful sales leader with a hunter mentality that has given him great success across several levels of business. He has a proven track record of discovering the business needs through consultation with the customer at all levels of business. Just over a year ago, he entered the entrepreneurship again with his son, and we will talk about that right now. I know, Dwayne, you and I, we grew up in the same small town together. We didn't know each other. You're a few years older than me, and I was friends with your brother. But when I read this article about your son and yourself starting this business, I was so touched. Everybody has been touched by depression, and I'll post a link to the article in the comments section. And as I said, it hits close to home. So please tell your story and how it helped you start Crystal Clear Windows.
Sure. So I've been working for quite a while, and I've done a bunch of different things, right? I've had my own business. I've been in the IT industry now. I was in it for about 20, 25 years. And I never did find a place where I felt like I wanted to be. It was all just a stop. It was a job. It wasn't a career, and it wasn't a place I wanted to be. And I found out about, I guess it would have been about 2015-ish, that I had depression and anxiety, and it used to be where I would go, I don't know, a week, a few days, a couple of weeks, where I just felt down.
Yeah.
And I'd come back up, and it was good. I thought, okay, well, whatever, just a little dip in the road. And then started to get to the point where I was down for 6 weeks, and then it was 3 months, and then it was 4 months, and I stopped taking care of myself, and I stopped doing normal activities around the house, and I would just basically sit there, right? And just, the things weren't right. And I kept thinking, well, I did snap out of it. It'll just happen again, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't this time. So I actually ended up going to see my doctor just to let him know what was going on and see what we could do. And he diagnosed me with depression. And so we ended up getting some tests done and everything else. And it was a severe case. So I ended up going to a psychiatrist and the whole deal around that. And it was tough, went a whole year with pretty much nothing, no income, no anything else, and just basically, stretching from, week to week and month to month, and try to keep your family fed and keep everything going, and also work on yourself, right? And they keep telling you to focus on yourself. Well, pretty tough when you're used to providing for your family and not being able to.
Yeah.
So after that happened, I ended up leaving my last position in the IT industry. I decided one day that, I knew I needed to do something else. Just all the pressure and the additional things that go along with working in sales. Just wasn't good for me anymore.
Yeah.
So I knew I loved people. I know I like talking to people and helping people out. It's just now I had to figure out something else. So my son Connor, who was also diagnosed with depression when he was 15, and he voluntarily checked himself into the adolescent psychiatric ward here in Regina because he wanted to get help. Pretty big step for somebody who's 15 years old. And
for sure.
So one day he he called me over. He was watching YouTube or something, and he calls me over and says, "Dad, you got to see this." And I thought, "Oh, okay, what is it? Some video game or whatever it is, right?" And over there, it showed the reverse osmosis window washing and how it's just everything comes out clear and it shows the water running down the windows. That's pretty kind of neat, right? It's something unique, something different, something I'd never seen before. And he didn't think anything of it. He thought he was just showing me something cool. And I got it caught in my head that, this looks pretty interesting. So I started looking into it and everything else, and did some research and found that there's a demand for, doing commercial buildings here and doing residential. And started looking at the product and everything else and doing research because I had a hard time believing that this thing wouldn't leave spots, it wouldn't leave streaks, that kind of thing, because I hate doing windows, right? I don't think anybody likes it. So I started looking into it a little more and doing a little more research, and finally one day I just decided, I'm going to just do this. Worst case scenario, we do it as a part-time thing and have a little extra income. Yeah. So I actually ended up ordering the equipment and the gear and everything else, and it got here when it was, of course, cold, and I couldn't do anything with it. It was driving me crazy because I wanted to try it out and see how it worked and everything else. But finally got going on everything. It was Connor's last year of high school last year, and he basically what happened was we actually started doing a few jobs by just advertising just on, used Regina, Kijiji, whatever, right? Just some of the online local sales kind of places, right? Yeah. And so what happened was we actually saw that there was actually, pretty good demand for this. So we got out and started doing this. And at first we were even paranoid doing it because we thought, well, how can this be? And we'd seen it work lots of times on our own. And it turned out it was a great product, a great unit. Good things happened, and we ended up doing our first commercial contract, a 4-story building, about 600 windows, and now we can knock that off in about 4 hours. Nice. 5 hours, depending on the day. Yeah. And we were actually finishing that first commercial job the day of Connor's grad. So the poor kid went to grad. He was just exhausted, but he was happy, right? And something that he's found works for him. Like with his anxiety and his depression, working in an environment where people understand what he's going through is really important. And he understands what I'm going through. So it makes a really good partnership, because if I'm having a bad day, he gets it and he can talk to me about it, and he understands. And I understand. So it really works out really well for the two of us. One of the things that we want to focus on as a company is we'd like to start getting people who have issues with mental illness, depression, anxiety, whatever the case may be, who aren't currently able to be employed because of, let's say, when you have depression, you're in a job. Like I know when I was doing my sales jobs, I got called lazy, and I called you just not trying. And if I had cancer and I was at home sick, I don't think anybody would say that. True. But when it's a mental illness, mental health issues, whatever you want to call it, it's still that, it is getting better, but it's still that stigmatism of, oh yeah, well, I'm sure, why can't you just buck up and do it, or whatever the case is. Yeah. So our goal is during expansion, is to see if we can find people that are in the same situation that we're in.
Yeah.
Maybe they're looking at the world and they feel like it's hopeless because they're going to a place to work. And when they start calling in, if they have a bout of depression or something, and they're not, not able to do much, or feel that the pressure is getting to them, and it just triggers their depression, or whatever the case may be, we want to create an environment where it's a positive thing that we can deal with, that we understand, and they know that we understand, and hopefully it gives them enough of a comfort level and a good environment where, excuse me, they can be productive again, and give them back some self-esteem, some self-worth, and be able to go out and earn a living.
Oh no,
so
absolutely.
That's kind of the premise behind that. So.
Oh, and that's good. And you've answered a couple of my next questions as well, but I'd like to expand on that, especially when I think it's such a it's such a good story. It's such a feel-good story, and I believe, and I've gone through it with close friends, and some have come out in the worst case scenario, and being able to get out there and helping people, and as you said, hire more employees. So, can you share a little more about how you think that will work? How are you going to find them, and how does you mentioned, you touched on it briefly, but how does you and your son working together with that depression and being able to work with each other, will that, be able to keep that close knit touch and be able to talk if you bring more people into your business?
Well, I think part of, finding the people is really, really kind of strange, because we actually did an interview with the Leader Post here in Regina. And when the article came out, I had people phoning me after they read the article, that had depression, that had the same experiences I had, where they want to do something, but the places they were just did not understand what they were going through.
Yeah.
So I actually had people reaching out to me and say, hey, when you're ready to hire, here's my number, here's my name, I'm ready to, I want to do something.
Nice.
It's the first time that I've had any hope of getting anything or doing anything in a long time.
Yeah.
So I had probably a dozen people reach out to me. So that was a pretty quick and easy way to kind of, get people and find people. Word of mouth is amazing. People, our company's unique. We've got a unique story, and that I think helps as well draw people.
Yeah.
Draw people to us. So, and about Connor and I being, still having that closeness as we expand and grow. I think it's, it's been, I don't know if every father and son could work together. I really don't. I think it's just the fact that I've been open and honest about, my entire life. I'm 24 years sober. I've been honest about that with my kids. They ask me questions. I tell them what happened, good, bad, or ugly. I've been straight up with Connor all the time too, and open with him about how I'm feeling. So I think even as it grows and expands, we're still going to have that closeness, and we're still going to be, still be on that same page, that same level. And I think it's a bond that forms between people that have an illness, right? They know that the other people understand, and it's important for somebody to understand you when you're going through something.
Absolutely. No, that is so good. And that's, and just to remind our listeners and viewers that that Leader Post article is posted in the comments section, so you can just click on it and read it. And I highly recommend reading it as well. So I guess, has Connor really taken to the entrepreneurship kind of like you have, and dove right in and loves the cold calling and trying to find sales? How has he adapted to that?
Well, having anxiety, and me having anxiety, being in sales is it's kind of like the last thing you think anybody would do. But when we started out, he was very, let's call it very shy, very, standoffish with people. He, had a little difficulty getting in front of people, that kind of thing. But now, like, I'm basically showing him and explaining how I approach people.
Yeah.
And he's watching me do that. And now I noticed that he, over the last year or so, he's gotten way better. He's able to talk to people. He can talk on the phone. He can, knock on the door, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was just being able to give him the chance to do it. And some of them I just made them do it. I just made them go and talk to the person and collect the, drop the invoice off and collect the payment and that kind of stuff. Just so you get used to talking to people and being around people. So I think it's a learning process where he's going to go and he's going to see that he's able to do this. He's going to, see that he can conquer his fears, right? The fear of rejection and the fear of the unknown. The entrepreneurship part of it, he has taken to that. He really wants to do this. This is what he wants to do. He's really comfortable doing it. And he started doing some research on different subjects and that kind of thing. We watch a few people on YouTube that have the same kind of business that are successful at it and have been doing this a lot longer than we have. And he's starting to watch those videos and he'll point them out to me and we'll sit down and we'll talk about them. And he'll look at the different ways that we're doing things and suggest things, and he'll suggest places that we should go and talk to. And so he's taken to it, and I think part of it is just that it's his and he feels comfortable in it, and when he's comfortable he's able to do whatever he needs to do.
And that's awesome. I mean, it's such a great story for someone to find something that they're passionate about, something that they love, something that's theirs, and being able to work with your father and somebody who can relate to you about depression and anxiety is, will eliminate a lot of that stress and just make your life, so much better.
Absolutely.
That is great. So I guess so Dwayne, what's next for you guys? I know you want to, expand and hire some other, people with mental illnesses, but for the company, do you have any, goals set out for the next 1, 3, 5 years?
Yeah, we have some goals, some financial goals and some expansion goals and that kind of thing as well. We've got them set, but they're not set in stone because we don't want to set ourselves up for failure, right?
Absolutely.
But we also want to be aggressive enough that we push ourselves. So it's a balancing act. But we over the next year here, we'd like to be able to make things self-sufficient. So at least we can, make a living off of doing this. And basically, we're going to try and push as hard as we can with what we have right now, and then slowly start to expand and grow. And we're going to focus on one thing. We're going to focus on windows right now, right? We're also looking at doing future pressure washing and soft washing and different eaves and all kinds of different things that would tie into the cleaning the house, cleaning the windows in an environment, whatever it is, commercial, residential. So we'd like to be able to get together with some businesses too that are kind of like-minded, right? Where they're wanting to work with somebody who's showing a difference with mental health, and they're trying to make a difference in that field. And we'd like to see if we can get some more volunteer things going for mental health. There's a few other things too. Like we've got some business partners that we're talking to, like some property management places, that kind of thing, that have been very positive and very, very good for us. And they, more you talk to people, more you find out that they have a story too.
Yes. And
when their story and your story kind of line up a little bit, it makes for a really good relationship because you guys understand each other. It's kind of like the concept of our whole business, right? We want to get people in so they understand that we understand each other. I understand who's working for me, they understand who I am. And hopefully that level of personal sharing and bonding will help ensure that people are going to be, getting a good product from us.
No, that's good. I mean, that's such great goals, and I mean, obviously you've been through it with your IT company before, so so it's a road you've gone down before, which also helps. My last question is, I always ask, if you have one piece of advice for a business or startup, but I'd like to put a little spin on that. I mean, if someone's listening and they are struggling with mental health or depression, what's one piece of advice would you give them to, help them become a better or move on and get to that better place, at their workplace?
I think one of the main things is not to give up on yourself. Remember that you're worth it, that you're not what you think you are on the negative side of things. We look at each other, we look at ourselves, and I find that I do at least. I look at all the negative things, right? I can pick apart every every negative thing about me. And with the depression, that just amplifies it. And just remember that there's other people there that do understand you. There's other people that are going through this with you. You're not alone.
No.
But the key to that is to be, not scared to speak out. In the workplaces too, it's tough. Sometimes you speak out and you become blackballed. To be honest, I know I have.
Yeah.
But in the workplace, I find if you're open and honest about things, and the company is a decent company, they've got some, plans in place, they've got some guidelines in place, and a lot of the time you'll find that big giant mountain of fear that you have talking about your mental health and talking about how you're feeling and that kind of thing, it turns into a little tiny molehill when you actually talk about it, right? And
Yeah.
it gets rid of the elephant in the room. You feel better that you're not hiding anything anymore. But going through that and being able to speak to someone and tell them exactly what you're going through, you may help somebody that's working in your workplace as well.
Yeah.
Like, don't think you're the only person that's suffering in your neighborhood, on your street, in your workplace, on your hockey team. Like, it's whatever you want to call it. You're not alone. But there's just a lot of, especially men, there's a lot of us out there that don't want to talk about this. We're supposed to be strong. We're supposed to not show any kind of weakness. We're not, the old don't talk, don't feel, don't cry. You're a man, smarten up. And it's not the case.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it. We need to be open about it. We need to talk freely and not feel that we're going to be punished because of what's wrong with us. It's like punishing us for having, a heart disease or cancer.
Yeah.
And realistically, I've lost a lot of friends to this disease, and not in good ways most of the time. So I guess, the piece of advice is to be strong, be there for yourself, and find that group of people that understand you. Rely on them and get them to rely on you. That know that they're going to be there for you and you're going to be there for them.
Yeah.
And when you start to grow that, that area and that little group, you all of a sudden start to feel better. You start to get a little more self-esteem. You start to feel a little better about yourself because you're not just, why is this happening to me? Right? It's not just you. You're not alone in the wilderness. And I don't know if it's misery loves company, maybe. But it's I think that's the key to this, is to get that courage to speak up and talk about it and share with others. And you'll find that other people have experiences that they're willing to share with you and help you out with.
No, and that is awesome advice, and I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story. It's a topic that needs to be discussed about more, not just on Bell Let's Talk Day. And that's one of the reasons why I started this show well over a year ago, is to show people that share your knowledge, share your stories, and you're always someone there to help you if you're willing to reach out, and it doesn't matter what it is. So I really appreciate you coming on and talking about that today. And obviously, with Crystal Clear Windows, if anybody wants to click on their website, is in the comments section. The article with Dwayne and his son Connor are also in there. So show your support in Regina. Give them a call. If you have any further questions, you can definitely reach out to myself or Dwayne. Our contact information is there, and we'd be glad to help. So again, thanks a lot, Dwayne, for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. And if you ever want me to come back on again, or if anybody else out there wants me to talk or speak to a group or whatever, I'm more than willing to put some time in and help other people out. So.
Perfect. That is awesome. I will keep that in mind, and I have brought a few other people back on, so that might be a good. This might be a good recap one, especially an expansion one on how how you've possibly expanded and helped with other people with mental illness. That would be great. So,
Awesome.
Again,
Thanks,
special
Jade.
thanks
Appreciate
to
it.
Health and Heart Sleep Company for sponsoring the show. They have 2 locations in Calgary. They are your CPAP, premier CPAP and sleep apnea experts in the city. So support local. And thank you again, Dwayne, for coming on, and everybody for watching.
Cool.
And we will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.